Amazon founder Jeff Bezos has one of the few people who experience what it feels like to travel to space, which comes as no surprise with his massive wealth. But as of recent, this billionaire has been receiving a lot of hate on how this recent action contributed to our climate crisis. As a result, Jeff Bezos donated over $400 million to the climate after the space trip. Find out more in today's video. First, Jeff Bezos pledges over $400 million to climate groups to combat the ongoing health crisis. Last July, the Amazon founder and the second wealthiest man in the world, Jeff Bezos, shot up in the sky on board Blue Origin's first crewed launch last July 30, where he spent 10 minutes in space, which drew both awe and criticism from the public. Bezos has a lot of plans in store for his aerospace manufacturing company, Blue Origin, concerning space exploration, but that doesn't mean he's neglecting our home planet as well. On December 6, Bezos announced that he donated $443 million to different organizations that tackle climate justice and nature preservation, aside from tracking climate goals. The Bezos Earth Fund announced earlier this month via press release that 44 organizations were granted this donation, which also included U.S. President Joe Biden's Justice 40 initiative, which aims to battle climate change in disadvantaged communities, as well as pledging $1 million to support land restoration in both the U.S. and Africa. These funds will be fully dispersed by 2030 and are part of the Blue Origin CEO's $10 billion commitment to fighting climate change. The goal of the Bezos Earth Fund is to support change agents who are seizing the challenges that this decisive decade presents. Andrew Steer, president and CEO of the Bezos Earth Fund, expressed in a statement, "Through these grants, we're advancing climate justice and the protection of nature, two areas that demand stronger action." It wasn't the first time Bezos donated a huge amount for climate causes since last year. He also pledged a staggering $791 million to 16 different climate organizations. But the call for space exploration is also a loud cause, hence Bezos' involvement with said industry as of late. As humans, we've always wondered about the vast entirety of space, and now that we have the means to explore it, more and more people are investing in it in the hopes of furthering our knowledge with it, as well as discovering unimaginable possibilities. Over centuries, many people will be born in space. It'll be their first home, Bezos said during a recent conference. They'll be born on these colonies, live on these colonies, then they'll visit Earth the way you would visit, Yellowstone National Park. Upon returning to Earth from his July space trip, Bezos has been more vocal about the Earth's condition and our need for cooperation to save it from its declining condition. "We live on this beautiful planet. You can't imagine how thin the atmosphere is when you see it from space," Bezos said last July. "We live in it and it looks so big. It feels like, this atmosphere is huge and we can discard it and treat it poorly. When you get up there and you see it, you see how tiny it is, how fragile it is." Next, Blue Origin launched New Shepard with two astronauts' legacy. In May 1961, Alan Shepard made history by becoming the first American to travel into space, and a decade later, he was also part of the crew that landed on the moon along with Neil Armstrong. On board one of Blue Origin's newest spacecrafts that derived from Shepard himself, now it was his daughter Laura Shepard Churchley made history as she became the 372nd American to fly into space. Churchley's mission bears similarities with her father, but what's most impressive is how she was able to fulfill her father's accomplishment with just a few days of training. She was one of the 6 crew members on board that served as the 19th successful space travel and also the first to carry a crew of 6 people. "This was just wonderful. I was trained too well. I knew exactly what was coming," Churchley told Bezos after landing and exiting the capsule. "I thought about Daddy on coming down and I thought, gosh, he didn't get to enjoy any of what I'm going to enjoy. He was working, he had to do it himself. I went on for the ride." He takes himself too seriously. SpaceX CEO takes a jab at Jeff Bezos. As rich as Bezos is, for this year, he couldn't stop the richest man in the world and Time's most person of the year, Elon Musk. The eccentric billionaire is also the CEO of SpaceX, an aerospace manufacturer who's the leading company in terms of space exploration. He and Bezos are constantly one-upping each other as the richest man in the world, but for this year, Musk was awarded the title. Aside from both being rich and CEOs of high-profile companies, these two are known for not being on good terms for quite a while now. And Musk's recent comment is already one of the many proofs of that. In one of his recent interviews following the announcement that he's been named as Time's Person of the Year, Musk shared some thoughts on what he thinks about his fellow billionaire and how he runs his business. He does credit Bezos on his reasonably good engineering aptitude, but thinks that the Amazon founder does not seem to be willing to spend mental energy getting into the details of engineering. In addition to that, he also called Bezos someone who takes himself a bit too seriously. In some ways, I'm trying to goad him into spending more time at Blue Origin so they make more progress. As a friend of mine says, he should spend more time at Blue Origin and less time in the hot tub, Musk explains during the interview. So far, SpaceX has been the leading company in the aerospace industry, which adds to the tension between the two billionaires since Bezos is aiming to take its spot. It even came to the point where Blue Origin filed a 50-page complaint against SpaceX in the second quarter of this year after the latter was awarded a $289 million contract to transport astronauts to the moon by NASA. The project entails the construction of a lunar lander that'll put humans on the moon, a feat that was first accomplished back in 1972. In NASA's own words, it has made a high-risk selection, Blue Origin expressed in a statement to people back then. Their decision eliminates opportunities for competition, significantly narrows the supply base, not only delays but also endangers America's return to the moon. Unfortunately for Blue Origin, the U.S. Court of Federal Claims sided with SpaceX, slamming the former's complaints presided by federal judge Richard Hurtley. There will be forthcoming opportunities for companies to partner with NASA in establishing a long-term human presence at the moon under the agency's Artemis program, NASA said in a statement. Up next, Jeff Bezos receives backlash after failure to mention tornado deaths at Illinois Amazon facility. As much as Blue Origin was celebrating Blue Origin's third crewed launch last December 11, Amazon's facility in Illinois suffered heavy damages and devastating losses brought by a tornado that landed within the area. The crew of the New Shepard rocket just made a successful return, with Bezos already expressing his congratulatory remarks across different social media platforms, to which he got slammed by the public. While this is happening, his other company's facility in Illinois was struggling with damages as well as deaths. Bezos received a lot of backlash from the online community, calling him out on how he failed to announce the catastrophe in Illinois. It wasn't long before he decided to address his problem. Tragedy claimed the lives of at least 6 people, to which the Amazon founder took to Twitter to express his grief and concern. The news from Edwardsville is tragic. Heartbroken over the loss of our teammates there, and our thoughts and prayers are with their families and loved ones, Bezos wrote in the first half of his statement. All of Edwardsville should know that the Amazon team is committed to supporting them and will be by their side through this crisis. We extend our fullest gratitude to all the incredible first responders who have worked so tirelessly at the site. He also uttered words of gratitude to all the incredible first responders who have worked so tirelessly at the site, which he added later on. On the evening of December 10, a tornado hit the Amazon warehouse facility in Illinois, which caused a large portion of the structure to collapse. Following this event, James Whiteford, the fire chief in Edwardsville, announced that 45 people have evacuated safely from the premises, but the number of people present inside at the time was not determined, which complicated search efforts. This is a devastating tragedy for our Amazon facility, and our focus is on supporting our employees and partners. Amazon spokesperson Richard Rock issued a statement on December 11. So far, Bezos hasn't commented any further on the issue. And with that, we're wrapping up today's episode about Jeff Bezos' donation to various climate organizations. Do you think he should have done more for this tragedy at Amazon and for the climate groups? Let us know in the comments below. Before you go, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button before you go, and we'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching.